Hello everyone and welcome to this pick a card reading video. In this video, we will be taking a look at something or someone from your past that you should bring forward. I don't know the specifics. I haven't pulled the cards yet for the piles except for these ones that are here, piles 1A, 2B, and 3C. We are using the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck here, and then we will be getting to the Angels of Atlantis oracle cards and the Mythic oracle cards. So at least one of each from those decks. If you feel drawn to more than one stack, you can certainly listen to more than one of the stacks. All the timestamps are down below. If you don't feel drawn to this reading, then that's completely fine. There are plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel, as well as collective reading videos if you're into collective readings. I feel like there's something else I wanted to say. Oh, if you have like a specific situation in mind that you're curious about, you could think of that. This is more so about thinking generally, like just in general about someone or something. Like, I don't expect you to necessarily have anything in mind going into this, so have an open mind. But if you do have something that you feel relates to the piles that is a specific situation or person from your past, you can certainly go into the reading with that person or situation in mind. Everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So you have here this emoji, like where it's like, what? And then we have the Hanged Man in the upright, but he's obviously technically in reverse because he's upside down. But you know what I mean. It's an upright card. And for you all, it's interesting because if you're new around here, typically when I pull these cards, I don't try to think about them until like as soon as I start the video, or maybe right before. I'll like take a look and like see what I'm feeling. But as soon as I pulled this card a little bit ago for the piles, pile selection, it came out pretty quickly. And also, I'm not surprised that I felt drawn to putting this with this card, because for me, this is Spirit's way of being like, don't worry about it, don't even think about it, don't think about it. Like, don't think about the past. Sometimes we move on from things, or we do things differently, and we'll be reminiscent of things of the past. So Spirit's like, if you're experiencing right now being reminiscent or nostalgic of the past, that's completely fine. But that doesn't mean we have to go chasing after something or someone that is in our past. So Spirit really, honestly, truthfully, does not want for you to really incorporate anything from your past into your present or future. They're really just like, you gotta let it go. All of it go, even the good parts. We can let the good parts of our lives just be. We don't have to chase after that high from that moment again, or from that person again. We experienced it. Hopefully we gained something from it. We were happy at a point in time from experiencing something or being with someone or having someone in our life, but that doesn't mean that they should be with us here now. That, like, the situation wouldn't be the same as it is now compared to how it was in the past. So even if you wanted to like replicate or bring something forward into your present, Spirit's like, it wouldn't be the same. And also it's like there's such a, well, part of it is because your life, where you're at in life, and your life in general, like all of it has just changed enough so that this past part of you and these things in your past, bringing them forward just wouldn't make sense in your life. It reminds me of, like, maybe an example could be like, I don't know why I'm getting this example, but when I was younger, I was a swimmer. And so maybe now, let's say that you did club swimming and high school swimming when you were younger, maybe even college swimming, and now you're older, but now you're like, oh, I miss the days when I was part of a team environment and when I was part of a club. Maybe now your schedule wouldn't account for being on like a swim team, you know, like it depends on where you live too. If like it can be hard scheduling wise, whether it's like a really early morning or like middle of the day practice or like right after work, but maybe the closest swim club to you or the one you'd want to go to is way out of the way, so you wouldn't be able to make the practices, and maybe you wouldn't be able on the weekends to do swim meets because you always have to go and visit like a family member on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in that situation, you can reminisce and be happy of, and even like you can honestly miss being on a swim team, being even part of any athletic club, right? You can miss being part of that, but that doesn't mean you need to chase after or do that now. Like in that example, you don't need to be on a swim team. Maybe you can just try to swim more, like you don't have to go to practices like for a club. You can just, as a form of exercise, you can go whenever you have the time. And if you miss the community aspect of it, you can just go to certain classes sometimes, or you can just make friends at your local gym who also like being in the pool, so then you can share like a pool lane together. And you can swim every once in a while, but it doesn't have to be like a set thing. It seems like, I don't want to say your life is like extremely hectic right now. It's just the way that your life is laid out or planned out, scheduled out. It wouldn't make sense for certain things to be in your life. So things like when you were younger, also it makes sense because when you're younger, you literally don't have a job. Or if you're in high school, you have a job. Usually it's not during school hours, right? Unless you have like an off period of time or whatever. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, it seems like timing is the main reason why certain things that you miss can't be brought forward. And so that's why Spirit, I think because there's such a craving for these things, Spirit's like, no, you don't need to. You don't need to. Like, don't try to move things around right now, because things in your life right now are actually looking pretty good the way that it's set up, even if that doesn't mean it's perfect. But the way everything is set up right now, it looks like Spirit is saying you're on the right path and you're doing what you're meant to do. And it's okay that we can grieve the things that are no longer in our life, even if we want them to be, even if it's not like, you know, it makes me think of when people also end relationships and it's like things ended amicably. And sometimes that can actually make it a lot harder because it's like, we were both kind to each other, even in the moments when we separated. But that doesn't mean, like, let it stay good. That doesn't mean you should try to, like, date that person again in that example. It means that you can respect how things ended and also respect the relationship for what it was. But there's obviously a reason why it ended, whether that's because people had to move for work or school, or because you just grew apart, like you just didn't have romantic feelings. Maybe somebody wanted to open up the relationship and another person didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of reasons why things happen. And I'm also hearing, like, about fate, you know, fate, destiny. And with that, I'm hearing if it's really meant to come back into your life, it will come back into your life without you having to force it or reach out for it. So if something is meant to happen again, or somebody's meant to come back to you, it will happen naturally. And like, if it's a person, it will be from their coming back into your life, not you coming back into their life. So like, they're going to be the one making an initiative, taking that actionable step forward. And then if it's like a situation, then I see it just easily falling into your lap. It's like you won't even realize that you're almost kind of incorporating this thing back into your life because it just is so effortless. So that's the only reason things would enter back into your life. There's things we can do, like I gave the example of, if you were a swimmer and you can still swim, but you don't need to join like a club and go to meets. There's compromises you can also make to do something that maybe like slightly is reminiscent of what you used to do, but not verbatim. Spirit doesn't want, there really is an emphasis on Spirit doesn't want for you to mess this up. Like where you're at in life right now, they're like, don't mess it up. Don't self-sabotage. Things are good now, but you wish that they were good like how they used to be. There's different layers of good. Things can be good, but bring about different feelings of goodness within you. Like you'll feel different when you are out eating dinner with family versus when you're out eating dinner with your romantic partner. At least that's, you know, an example I can think of that a lot of people would relate to, if not everyone, right? You will feel different going to the beach in the summer versus going to the beach in the winter. Do you get what I'm saying here? What am I saying? Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So maybe you love going to the beach. Going in the summer versus winter, like they're both good, but maybe you have more positive associations when you go in the summer and there's more people there and you like that. And the sun is out more, it's better weather. Even if you live somewhere like Southern California where it's kind of just always better weather. But, you know, so you can still feel happy. Like you can feel happy though in that situation that in the winter, you are still able to even go to the beach. But then it's also, you feel like a bit of yeah, that's a good way I can describe it. Like even though there's a lot of happiness, a lot of things to be happy about right now in your life, there's almost a sense of sadness because they aren't like how they used to be. And Spirit's saying that's okay. Things don't always have to be how they used to be, and we can grieve that, and we can sometimes be sad about that. But also, Spirit really wants you to focus on. Now I'm focusing on this part. Like focus on what makes you shine now. You know, like you don't. And you know how. Now I'm getting the visual of the water. There's so much water stuff showing up. I don't know why. But it's like their head is underwater almost. And it's like I'm hearing you want a reason or an excuse almost. Because I think there's so much pressure because things are good. It's like you don't want to mess it up. So then you're like, I want to like go back to things before. And maybe things felt simpler before. Spirit's like, although things may have been simpler before or brought you a different sense of happiness, that doesn't mean you can't be happy now or that you aren't already happy now. And there's just so many good things. So Spirit is saying don't worry about the past bringing in or incorporating anything in. Things are looking really good and really bright for you as it is already. Okay, let's pull from the Angels of Atlantis deck and see what they have to say. I feel like there actually might be two cards. Yeah, there's two cards that want to come out for this one. For 1A, just any, whether it's advice or an archangel that is looking after you at this point in time. Metatron Miracles. Yeah, I'm not surprised that one came out. And then okay. Raziel Dreams. Yeah, so Spirit is saying you are making your dreams a reality as it stands. So you don't need to, if anything, you could focus more on the future than the past right now, which is interesting. Interesting for them to say. But miracles. Miracles are changes of perception, and Metatron wishes you to know that like the miracle of newborn life, you are bringing your creative force to the fore. Do anticipate a miracle occurring, for when we open ourselves to miracles, we relinquish our fear to God, to Metatron, who stands on the right hand of the divine. Therefore, open your mind to the possibility of any challenge you may have being lifted from your shoulders. And when you let go, the source will gift you with unexpected joy. Please chant high from the throat chakra to enhance Metatron's magic. It's almost like, too, I want to say, do you believe in yourself enough? Do you not understand how awesome your life is being, like, set up to be right now? Things are looking really good, so accept that. Don't think it's going to go away or that it's not good enough. Okay, dreams. Your dreams are one of the most powerful oracles you access, and Raziel illustrates that messages are filtering. Oh, okay, sorry. Your dreams are one of the most powerful oracles you access, and Raziel illustrates that messages are filtering through your dream kingdom at present, which will help you with your next important life decision. Don't worry if you cannot remember your dreams, as your unconscious has them in store for the higher self or God to interpret. Try to keep a dream journal to develop the ability to read the metaphors of this part of your consciousness. Sit in stillness to assist the interpretation of your consciousness. So I think a lot of you too are kind of like maybe reminiscent of the past right now because you don't really know what to expect fully for the future. And Spirit is saying good things are also going to continue to come for you. This is such a beautiful, positive deck, but I just feel like you're probably not internalizing it enough, so really seep in that positivity. And if you're new around here, I'm somebody who I hate toxic positivity, so I'm not saying you can't have moments like I'm saying you can reminisce, But it's not like it's not necessary for you to bring things forth into your present or future. There's so many good things coming. If you don't know where to go next, Spirit will soon provide you with more information on how to guide you forward. Trying to open the other deck, but it's not opening. There we go. Okay, let's move these over here. Okay. On to the next card. I had a feeling we were going to choose this one. Dynasties, Freedom. Okay. The myth. Dionysus is the son of Zeus and the mortal Semele. While Semele was pregnant with Dionysus, Hera, disguised as an old woman, convinced Semele to make Zeus prove he was a god. Semele asked Zeus to swear an unbreakable oath to grant her a favor. He agreed and was thus forced to reveal his true nature when she demanded it. Zeus appeared as a bolt of lightning, and its fire consumed Semele. Zeus saved Dionysus by sewing him into his thigh until it was time for him to be born, giving Dionysus 2 births. Dionysus is the wise god of nature, vegetation, wine, and music. He embodies the ecstasy and intoxication of unity and the dissolving of barriers. He is known as a liberator, freeing humankind from the chains of the mundane through music, wine, madness, and ecstasy. Yeah, so this is really a time of celebration of all the good things that are currently going on. Also, I'm hearing with, what does it say? It was like the blending of, dissolving of barriers, yeah. So it's like, think of how, instead of focusing on bringing something forward from the past to the present, or a person from the past to the present, think about how that person or that situation helped better you into the person you are now, for good and for bad, like for all the encompassing parts of that. Think of that, and that should fill you with pride for how that has helped shape you into who you are now. And like the past, don't think about it being so far away from you. It's like every time is not linear and everything kind of exists at the same time. So think of how if you worry or are reminiscent so much so of the past, you can instead consider how the past isn't really the past, it's happening right now. The message. Ecstasy is the transcendence of the ordinary state. It is an altered state of consciousness, a type of trance that moves us beyond our own self-awareness into a unified awareness. This state heightens our thought process, intensifies our emotions, expands our spiritual awareness, and enhances our physical abilities. Dionysus instigates the trance that ushers us into his realm of ecstatic awareness. Dionysus represents the freedom of the senses and the liberation of the civil and dutiful mind. His appearance in your cards signifies a deep connection to art, music, and poetry, and points you toward obtaining freedom through catharsis. If your life has become overwhelmed by mundane routine, thought, and existence, Dionysus is here to shake you awake. This is time for freeing your senses and finding your true voice, your dance. It is a time to break free from the rules of the civil world to find your own way instead. If you have drawn this card, liberation is at hand. The key to this liberation will come through deep catharsis, an intense, climactic, emotional experience that leaves you feeling renewed, revitalized, and reborn. The experience will smash the psychological barriers that bind you. This is what the ecstatic realm of Dionysus provides. The experience of religious or spiritual ecstasy, the total experience of unity with all that is, the ecstatic experience of God within and without. And I was getting that too, where it feels like, well, I don't know if I've brought this up yet or not, but the need to bring something forth from the past could come from things feeling a bit stale, but good things are coming, so focus on that. But also, even outside of like these goals and dreams that you have, Spirit is saying that you, like, there are other new experiences that you have yet to discover for yourself that you could also tap into that help expand your mind. And keeping an open mind, I think for you all specifically, will be very important moving forward for some reason. Just keep that in mind. But okay, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. you can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos on this channel, as well as collective reading videos on this channel, and you can check out my socials listed down below, which also includes my ASMR channels if you are into ASMR or the like. But thank you so much again, Wendy. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Tubi, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So here we have the tongue sticking out emoji magnet, and then the tower in the upright. It's interesting. With this, I was seeing almost like you in a building with a fire going on around you. And I'm hearing this the Tate McRae song. It's okay. I'm okay. I don't even gotta say it's okay. You can have him anyway. And I think for you all, the reason you need to bring something into your present awareness, into your present life, is because I am also hearing like loose ends. You haven't tied up loose ends. So this is something that you can bring forth now, but it's not for something that is meant to necessarily be in your life forever. It reminds me of when people break up, but they don't know exactly why their ex-partner had broken up with them, but maybe you could end up reaching out to them and like asking them to meet up so you can figure out what went wrong. Or maybe you can do some internet sleuthing. Like with tying up loose ends, it could be just you doing research more into some, like where someone from your past is at. You can call it internet stalking if you want, but you know, if you look up somebody on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, you can see. Oh, because I'm also hearing closure. So for some of you, maybe you need to bring something forward for closure. I guess that's kind of what I was getting at before. But yeah, if you feel that you don't have all the answers, maybe. So I think a lot of you will get answers that you couldn't get before. But some of you, it's not even about getting answers. It's about closure. So like if you see that an ex has a new partner and you see that on TikTok and they do like TikToks together or whatever, and it's pretty obvious that these people are a couple, then that can be something where you are like, okay, now I can finally leave that to rest. So it's more so about getting information where you can, and also either way, accepting even if like you reach out to somebody and they don't get back to you, then you can be like, well, they didn't want to talk, so I reached out. I did what I could do, and the fact that they don't want to get back to me, maybe they will in the future sometime, or even if not, then that's, you know, that's on them, and that's fine, and it will just help you to move on with life. And sorry, my hair. And it's interesting because I used to have a bad habit of picking at my nails. And sorry if this sounds gross, but like I was picking at one of my toenails, and I never do that. My nails aren't long right now, but I felt like doing that just now. So it's weird. I feel like there's a lot of like anxious habits you have formed as well. And I think a lot of this, interesting. I don't know how that works, picking at nails, but I feel like bringing this up. I feel like a lot of you really seek validation externally, like outside of yourself. And so I think it makes you anxious when you don't have the information you think you need in order to keep you safe. Like, it also reminds me of my mom. She always asks people to, now I'm like this too, so I could just say me, but I don't get necessarily super anxious about it, but so I'll just say my mom, like if somebody doesn't text her, well, actually, I don't know if she does. So if somebody doesn't text me and it's been quite some time and they should have probably made it home by now, then I'll text and be like, hey, did you make it okay back home? Like if somebody's traveling from out of town, or if it's bad weather. So it reminds me of that. There's like a sense of hypervigilance. So I think you are anxious because you think there's like something more you could have done. And you think there's like, you didn't maybe put enough effort into it. And if anything, you probably put too much effort into it. So Spirit doesn't want for you to think that anymore. And also I'm with the Tower, that's literally Spirit's way of being like, this wasn't gonna work out anyway. So if it didn't work out before, it's most definitely not going to work out now. And it's weird because this energy of this past part of you feels so separate from who you are now in a way. But you have a lot of anxiety, I feel like, for certain things or people of your past. But I just see you being in a very different place, like physically or locationally. So whether you've moved or if it's like, it reminds me of like maybe the past version of you, it's like a past workplace or a school environment, but now you work somewhere else, or you're not at school anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's also why it almost feels, why you're anxious, because it almost feels like it's time lost or you can't get it back. But how do I wish to word this? It's not like you lost time because you didn't do something. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it feels like because you're not in that environment, like locationally or physically anymore, you feel more removed from it. And for some reason, you have this anxious attachment to it, so you don't want for it to be removed from you. It's like, so let's say that past example is like at a college, and then you keep feeling like you need to, like, you have this urge to go back to the college and like back to your old dorm room or somewhere on campus where you spent a lot of time. And it's like, you don't need to do that. It's okay. It's okay that you're not locationally there. I feel like you are a group of people who really struggle with transitions. So I think like when things are like in the physical realm different, I think that makes you feel a certain type of way. But Spirit is saying we can't always stay in the same like physical spot. It's okay for us to move around, right? You don't want to be stuck somewhere. But for some reason, there's this anxious attachment to the past. So really work on tying up loose ends again, like reaching out for answers, like questioning. Even if you reach out and you don't get anything back, then you know that there isn't anything else you can do. But it feels like doing research and tying up loose ends. That could also mean reaching out to somebody who you haven't spoken to in a long time, who isn't even just a romantic partner, but like a friend, like a college friend. And you're like, hey, I'm going to be back in town. Like, are you available to hang out? And I think there's also this anxious attachment of like, do people still like me, or would people care enough to want to do things with me? Or yeah, there's a lot of validation and people pleasing that's coming through here. So that's something I recommend working on. Realize that you are worthy, that you are enough, and that it's okay and also like if you're not close to certain people anymore, even if you try, there's only so much trying you can do. Just because people, like, sometimes people don't want to talk to you anymore, and that's on them. They have their own reasons, like for you or for like that past situation that they just don't want to be involved with anymore. Or maybe sometimes people are just busy with life, like maybe building their own family, really furthering themselves in their career, and it maybe has nothing to do literally with them not wanting to have a friendship or relationship with you. It's just that people have priorities. I think you struggle with maybe not being a top priority for people all the time, or a main priority, and Spirit is saying it's okay to not be a main priority. It's okay. And it's not the end of the world here. It's just people shift and change and move on, and it doesn't always have to be for the bad. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not, and sometimes there's no ulterior motives that people have. Okay, let's go into the Angels of Atlantis guidebook. The 2B. For 2B, what would you like to say? Spirit for 2B. Well, there we have it. Zafkiel romance. Yeah, because for you all, like for the other, or pile 1, which I filmed before this, it felt more situational based. For you all, it definitely feels like it involves a person or people. But we have Zafkiel and we have romance. Okay, make sure it's in frame. Oh, yeah. Zafkiel is aware of the yearnings that currently exude from your heart and intuitively receives the strong desire in your emotional body for the joy of romance, whether this be in new love or in an existing relationship. This stirring is often related to the fact that an ideal love has not been experienced for some time. Explore this notion, truly identifying what that could be. The angels are returning you to a higher vibration of love, so don't cling tightly to the idea of love from your past. Exactly, and be prepared to embark on a new way of loving. And this isn't just about like actual romantic love, it's about friendships too. Like any way we give and receive love in any type of relationship. Even like a professor, right? It doesn't have to just be romantic. This is a time of wondrous change in your loving propensities. Trust that Zafkiel will work this out for your highest good. Chant He in your 8th chakra to stimulate the opening of your universal heart chakra. This will allow your force to envelop all aspects of your ideal love in service of the unified field of light, for we are all interconnected. Yeah, it feels like this is a clear indication that it's time to focus on building new relationships, new loving relationships with people, which could involve romantic love, but I just feel like it's more than that. It's a lot of things. So Spirit's saying it's okay, you're not like a failure for not having these other people in your life anymore, or not as prominently in your life anymore. It's okay to try to connect with other people who are in a similar maybe situation as you, people who are seeking community or who are seeking a romantic partner. So that's perfect messaging for you all. And then let's see what we have here for the final card for you, Tubi. Oh, really? This is the same card I pulled for 1A. And I feel like there is another card that wants to come out for clarification purposes. Zeus, Divine Expansion, number 14. So, the lightning bolt of Zeus. Look at that. Okay. I just think, this is, here, I'll read from what it says for Dionysus. I won't for Zeus, because I just think the divine expansion is you expanding your connections with others, your friendships, your romantic relationship, like not focusing on past connections with people. Also, for some of you, it could even be reaching out to a family member who you haven't spoken to in a long time. For some of you, or maybe seeing them if you haven't like traveled and seen them for a long time. But yeah, so that's why the expansion I think is coming through, expanding your friend group, your community. But I'll read what it says for Adonis. Pull the same one. Okay. The myth. Dionysus is the son of Zeus. Oh yeah, and he's the son of Zeus. Okay. And the mortal Semele. While Semele was pregnant with Dionysus, Hera, disguised as an old woman, convinced Semele to make Zeus prove he was a god. Semele asked Zeus to swear an unbreakable oath to grant her a favor. He agreed and was thus forced to reveal his true nature when she demanded it. Zeus appeared as a bolt of lightning, and its fire consumed Semele. Zeus saved Dionysus by sewing him into his thigh until it was time for him to be born, giving Dionysus 2 births. Dionysus is the wise god of nature, vegetation, wine, and music. He embodies the ecstasy and intoxication of unity in the dissolving of barriers. He is known as the liberator, freeing humankind from the chains of the mundane through music, wine, medicine, and ecstasy. His spirit is saying you can find better happiness moving forward in life rather than bringing things forward from your past. There's a lot of good times, and I just see you celebrating with community, with others, finding people who you can really trust and have fun with, who are different and separate from people of your past. The message. Ecstasy is the transcendence of the ordinary state. It is an altered state of consciousness, a type of trance that moves us beyond our own self-awareness into a unified awareness. This state heightens our thought processes, intensifies our emotions, expands our spiritual awareness, and enhances our physical abilities. Dionysus instigates the trance that ushers us into his realm of ecstatic awareness. Dionysus represents the freedom of the senses and the liberation of the civil and dutiful mind. His appearance in your cards signifies a deep connection to art, music, and poetry and points you toward obtaining freedom through catharsis. Yeah, I see you also doing more of, like, I was getting visuals of, you know what meetup.com is? Like, I see you doing a bunch of stuff, like taking a bunch of random class, like cooking classes or art classes. I just see you doing a bunch of fun stuff like that, making it fun. Not about you being good, about you having fun and meeting people in that way. If your life has become overwhelmed by mundane routine, thought, and existence, Dionysus is here to shake you awake. This is a time for freeing your senses and finding your true voice, your dance. It is a time to break free from the rules of the civil world to find your own way instead. If you have drawn this card, liberation is at hand. The key to this liberation will come through deep catharsis, an intense climactic emotional experience that leaves you feeling renewed, revitalized, and reborn. The experience will smash the psychological barriers that bind you. This is what the ecstatic realm of Dionysus provides. The experience of religious or spiritual ecstasy, the total experience of unity with all that is, the ecstatic experience of God within and without. I was getting visuals. If you're into potentially taking shrooms, if that's legal where you are, I recommend doing something like that. I feel like that could help. Yeah, I see you also doing a lot of movement. So exercise, I think, right now would be very important to help, like, shrug off any stagnancy. I'm seeing you, like, I'm seeing somebody running, but I'm also seeing people doing boxing and kickboxing. So, like, really doing something that, like, shakes the anger out of your body. Okay, but I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 2B, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos as well as collective reading videos. And you can, what was I going to say? You can also, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, my socials linked down below if you want to check those out, especially my ASMR channels if you are into ASMR and the like. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much again, 2B, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So, all the stacks have been quite different in terms of their energy. Out of everybody, it feels the most like, definitely for you all, there's something from your past or someone from your past that you need to bring forward. If you don't want spoilers, skip ahead for like 10-15 seconds. But pile 1, they weren't supposed to bring anything forth from the past. Pile 2 was supposed to, but only briefly, so that they can then like release it again. And then for you all, there is something from your past that is being highlighted. And with this, as I was pulling this out, I was hearing time. Ooh, oh my god, I feel like crying. I'm getting visuals. Oh my god. Okay. How do I wish to convey this? It's hard when I get such strong visuals. I'm just getting somebody like in a park, and there's a bunch of like people around. There's a bunch of kids running around too. It reminds me of almost like fairs, or you know when Pride events go on, when there's a bunch of people of all different ages, shapes, sizes, ethnicities, cultural backgrounds. Like I see that happening. It's weird. But this relates to your past, so I don't necessarily think that this is like a visual relating necessarily to something you saw or experienced when you were younger or like in your past. I mean, it could be, but it feels like that's just like the energy of what I'm getting here. Like it feels like there's a lot of things you can bring forward, and it's almost like a beautiful cohesive chaos that I'm getting. But yeah, I don't know if I said it or not, but with this I was hearing time is not lost. And the past is not lost as well. So it feels like there's things from your past you are meant to bring forward, and this could also include people. It feels a lot like I'm hearing experiences. So it reminds me of, like, you know, people, sometimes when people are older, they go to concerts more, but for me, I went to concerts a lot more when I was younger. It reminds me of that, like, things you did. That's what I'm talking about with experiences. Things you did, like, things you attended or went to, or, like, group gatherings or family reunions. It's like things you go to. I see this being a time of being very adventurous for you and nostalgic, but by doing things similarly to what you did when you were younger. So if you are somebody who, like, maybe you go back to your hometown or you go back to your college town and then you take a tour of the campus, something that it reminds me of actually is at my high school, there would, like, on the rare occasion be students who came back for the day or just, like, for a class period or two to hang out with the teacher and also the students in that class. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere else. I mean, maybe it's just a North Dakota thing, small town living type of stuff, but like students would come back and just chill for a little bit. You'd have to go to the front desk, or what do you call it? The school office area to get like your credentials, like a name tag saying that you were legally, it's okay, like you're not a threat, you can be in the building even though you're not a student, you're not a teacher, and you're not like staff. But with that, it's like they in that example, that person is going back to the place they went to school. So it feels like, yeah, really revisiting places of the past, but experiences. So if you're somebody who growing up, you went to a lot of concerts, this is Spirit's way of saying, do more of that, go to more concerts. If growing up you did a lot more traveling around, whether it was with family or like with friends or like solo trips, Spirit's like, this could specifically indicate going back to a place you've visited before. Like, it reminds me of Japan and how people, whenever they go to Japan, they just want to keep going back to Japan. It's hard to, like, go anywhere else once you've been to, like, Japan, Italy, France, all these kinds of beautiful places. And in that kind of example, too, if you go back to something... Oh, it reminds me, too, of when people rewatch television shows over and over again. If you've chosen this stack, it could be something like that. The experience you have can be right at home. And you just like rewatch a series or you rewatch a movie, like especially Disney movies, something like from when you were much younger, something that brought you happiness and it sparked joy in a way that there's a very innocent, childlike quality being shown here. Now, granted, if you went to like, oh God, I don't know, what should I say on YouTube? Even if it was something that wasn't, like, innocent or childlike from your past, it just feels like it's something that's so, like, there's a youthful energy and vibe that I'm getting here, too. That's what I mean by the childlike energy. And then also with you feeling giddy about doing this thing again, going to this place again, talking to this person again. It feels like doing all that really brings about this feeling inside of you that you haven't felt in a long time, because it's almost like you feel like, time and age has hardened me. But by having certain experiences reminiscent of your past and like visiting places of your past, you will actually find a different type of happiness again that you haven't experienced in a long time. Now I'm looking at this and I'm hearing chef's kiss. It's the chef's kiss. So this could also mean like getting even a childhood meal, making a childhood or a family recipe. That's the thing, an experience you can have is making a recipe you yourself never made, but maybe it's been passed down for generations. So that's a way not only to honor your ancestors, but it's something where it reminds you of childhood or it connects you to this roots. And it feels like sometimes when you have these experiences reminiscent of the past, it will be like outside of you. Because in that example, I'm talking about, it could be something generational. It could be something that connects you spiritually to your ancestors. It doesn't have to, but I'm saying, that's why I'm saying that as an example, connecting you to your ancestors, because this feels like the experiences you have will be greater than you. It also reminds me too of when people do things that maybe their parents or grandparents could never do. Like say your mom wanted to be a singer or like a Broadway actress. They never wanted to, but then maybe you can. But it doesn't really feel like career-wise, but it feels like then maybe you can bring her to her first ever like Broadway show, because maybe she's never been, or maybe she hasn't been a long time because your mom is like, it makes me sad. But then if she goes with you and you like put a twist on it and you're like, no, it can be fine, we can make this fun, this is something you can still enjoy and love. And then you go and it's like both of you are happy and it bonds you together. It feels like a lot of experiences you have now will be focused more on like your solo individual journey, but it feels like you will inevitably connect a lot with others as well. I don't see you having these experiences with like large groups of people. I see it being more one-on-one or like one-on-two, like you with one or two other people, because it's something you want to do for yourself, but then other people might tag along, and then that's an experience you can share and bond over together. And like in that kind of example too, it reminds me of let's say you used to be a soccer player and you haven't been to a soccer game or or not American football, like soccer isn't football for other places in the world. But let's say you haven't been to a soccer game in a long time, like since you retired from the sport in college, but then you haven't been to a game in a long time. So then you want to go, but then it's like you can bring your significant other who's never been much into soccer, but then you can go and then they can have more of an appreciation for the soccer, and it's something they've never experienced, but now they know what a soccer game is like. And then you have this revitalized energy and this true happiness that stems from something you used to do that brought you so much joy. So there really is a big emphasis on there's things you can do now that you used to do, even if it's not to the same like extent. It seems like there is going to be sorry, I'm getting messaging. This doesn't mean to do things over and over again. Like once you start going to a soccer game, that doesn't mean you should have to go to every single one. I mean, you can if you want to, but in that example, like maybe it would mean going to a soccer game like once a month. Because I feel like too, you all could be very overstimulated and overwhelmed if there's by your emotions, by too much going on at once. Like what I'm saying is more so like if you're doing something over and over again, it could take the spark away from it, but also I think you'll put too much pressure on it to be bringing about this sense of euphoria that you first felt once you brought this thing into your present awareness again. Does that make sense? So don't go overboard, don't go overkill. But I see you doing a lot of things, not just one thing over and over. I see you doing a lot of different things that are related to your past. And I just see you being very happy right now, so I don't see one specific thing except for like experiences. I keep bringing up the concert stuff. Think of things that you're like, I can't do that anymore, I'm too old. Especially things like that are things where spirits like you're not too old, and there's a way that you can make it work to do that again. To feel young again. There's a big emphasis on feeling young. Pull from here first. Okay, I'm just gonna... I thought maybe one of those, but if it's meant to come out, it will come out. For 3C, Spirit, what messages do you have for 3C? Raphael, communion. Interesting. Let's see what it says in here. I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Okay, it says communion. Raphael's oracle reminds you of the great Islamic tradition of the Hajj, an annual pilgrimage to Mecca where pilgrims celebrate. Yeah, see, so it's like even doing something where it's like a yearly trip that you do, whether it's a solo trip or with a few other people. I see, like, travel does seem, like, I just see movement. So travel could be important for you. But an annual pilgrimage to Mecca where pilgrims celebrate a communion with their earthly brothers and sisters in face of the divine. The objective is a twofold rite of the collective petition and praise of the divine. Therefore, observe where communion is not apparent in your life. Know that the source is within you, ever present and all wise, wishing you to reveal the joy of your life in your heart, which possesses true insight. Chant Om 3 times to align with the communion of the holy angels, and Raphael will show you the way. And in fact, there's another card they want for me to pull for additional clarification, potentially. Sandalphon, love. me, I was just thinking, like, do what you love. Don't be afraid to go for it. Beloved, you are a child of God or the universe and a peace lover at heart. Temperance is Sagittarius energy, very peace, hippy-dippy. This angelic oracle comes to you as a signal that new love or a renewed love is dawning for you. See life through the compassionate eyes of your guardian angel who emanates the crystals, and perceive that love as being uncompromisingly beautiful. Look to the beauty that you will create for all and radiance of your love, which is a prism of the divine. Shifting your perspective to the angelic realm means you become a human angel and start to spark miracles all around you. Chant Om Namah Shivaya to enlighten your peace. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I think this is like a newfound like love for something that once was in your life. Like having a renewed love for it is more so what I'm hearing. And then I feel like this top card actually wants to be pulled. Themis, Natural Order. I've never pulled this card, actually, I don't think. I've had this deck for a while, but I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Let's see what it says in here. Okay. Themis, Natural Order. The myth. Themis is the goddess of natural order and justice, so Libra energy. The daughter of Gaia and Uranus, she is known for her wisdom and acts of counsel to Zeus. Themis governs the law of nature as opposed to the law of humankind. When Themis's order is not respected, Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, punishes the offender. The message. Justice is balance, and balance comes with order. Themis is the balance of all things, as is nature. All things have a natural order. Day, night, harmony, chaos, birth, death, and when we struggle against this natural order, we become severely out of balance. This is the time to get your life in order. Clear your bedroom and personal space, organize your schoolwork and activities, keep your body clean and healthy, and keep your relationships clear and honest. Order can take hard work and focus, but is necessary. It is time to look at all the aspects of your life on both inner and outer levels and face them head on. You may need to check your grades of deadlines, confront a person or institution, or deal with personal issues, habits, and beliefs. We often experience pain in circumstances that feel unfair, but in time, all things find their natural way of returning to balance, and they do not need to be forced. Justice is not an eye for an eye. Justice is a natural order of the universe. You cannot control other people, nor can you control every event that happens in your life. You can control your own actions and do what you believe to be right. If you are clear in your life and honest with yourself, then justice surely will follow. And I think there's a card that I really feel like pulling another card as well for clarification of this card. But I will say, a main thing I'm getting with that is just like balancing the past with the present. Like, not all things from the past are bad. So it's like the balancing of that doesn't mean completely changing your current life so that it is completely like how you were living your life in the past. It's about incorporation and unity and balance of those things. So it's not like you need to go back to college, rejoin the soccer program, eat the same food, right? It's about doing, like, picking and choosing what works to be integrated into your life now. But I do feel like pulling an additional card for clarification. Oh, and then that's her father, Uranus, number 1. I'm hearing that this is a time of being very, let me skim through real quick. I was going to say being exploratory. Like, don't be afraid to explore things. She cares for, wait, what? Own your power in the world. What kind of life do you want for yourself? Are you living that life? What can you do to ensure that you're creating the life for yourself every day? Decide to take ownership for your life today. The only limitations you have are within your own mind. Decide now how to release those limitations, take a risk, and stand in your power. So yeah, don't be afraid to reincorporate things into your life. Like, Spirit is saying you literally have the power and you have free will. You have the ability. It's about just not going overboard, as I was saying before. Don't go overboard. It's about picking and choosing what to integrate into your life, doing different things, but not like the same thing over and over, because that's not balanced. So finding a balance of, okay, like there's maybe new hobbies that you like now, or like new relationships, you would like to continue to foster those now, but then also you can still like visit with old friends or family you haven't seen in a long time, right? So it doesn't have to be all exactly one way or the other. They can exist and coexist within each other at the same time even. So you can go back to your hometown, like with your current romantic partner, but you can still meet with old friends and like go do old things. But you can also try new things or things you didn't do as much in that hometown. Like if there's some like a new restaurant in your hometown, you can try that out. You don't need to just only go to the old restaurant you should go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like balancing old and the new is very important. But Spirit is also saying you have the ability to choose what it is you want to do that's new versus what you would like to do that is tried and true or something that's from your past. Okay, but I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 3C, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this deck, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you'd like to provide for us all. Before I forget, I was also hearing it's like a love letter to your past self. The way you should live your life is also like a way, think of younger you and be like, would younger me be proud of me? And so this is like and it's like something you wanted to do from when you were a child. Maybe you didn't have the opportunity and now you can. So it's something that you've always wanted to do. Spirit's like, this is a love letter to yourself moving forward. Some aspects of your life. But, okay. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos as well as my collective readings on this channel. And you can check out all my socials linked down below in the video description, which includes my ASMR channels if you were into that sort of thing or the like. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care. Bye-bye.